Happy Tuesday, you guys. It is day 2 of my Milehigh Meal Prep ebook launch, and today we're going to be talking about 4 ways to be a boss at the grocery store. And obviously that has to do with meal prep. So really being a boss of your nutrition and going to the grocery store and feeling like you know exactly what you're there for and what you're doing. So I'll be talking about those 4 ways to be a boss as soon as I go over what my Milehigh Meal Prep ebook includes and entails. And for those of you who don't know me, my name's Maddie. I'm an online personal trainer, and I'm also a transformational nutrition coach, and I help my clients form a sustainable fitness lifestyle through my in-app training as well as my nutrition protocols. So with that, let me talk about Milehigh Meal Prep and the ebook. It is a 45-page ebook, and we specifically formulated a group for Milehigh Meal Prep because when you get the ebook, it can be very daunting and overwhelming if you're just starting to meal prep and you don't have a community formed around you. So that's number 1 on the agenda, is to have that accountability and group mentality. So there is a community included, and right now there's open access into that community. So even if you weren't to purchase my Milehigh Meal Prep ebook, you can still get into the group right now until the launch is over. So that will close, that open access will close next week on Monday. And then that group each week, I'll be going live to train you either on an educational piece or to actually meal prep with you out of the ebook. So there will be a lot going on in the group, and that's another way to make friends through Milehigh Meal Prep is within that group as well. So the other thing that it includes is it has 20 pages of educational material. So the reason that people change is through education, and that's a big part of nutrition. If you don't have the education, it's really hard to really wrap your mind around what the importance of nutrition is. So part of this is to help you build a foundation around nutrition and to understand it better, and that way you can keep going back to this ebook if you need to reference something. It's always there for you. Definitely say hi if you're here, comment replay crew if you're part of my replay crew, and say live if you're live. Hey Jess, thanks for joining in. You guys, I really enjoy doing this for you. So if you're here, definitely just check in, say what's up, tell me where you're tuning in from, and let me know if you're enjoying the content that I'm providing. The other thing that I wanted to tell you about my ebook, other than the educational part, is that it does have 25 different recipes that I've formulated for those who are busy and on the go. And those recipes range from breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, desserts, and then some sauces as well. But they're all plant-based vegetarian because it's something in my life that I have been doing for a long time, so I feel comfortable having a plant-based vegetarian diet that's balanced and making an ebook that way. And that will be a huge part of meal prep. That meal prep ebook is the 25 recipes. So it's kind of split down the middle between recipes and education, and I hope it all culminates together for you guys to really help you learn how to meal prep better and why nutrition is so important. So with that, let's talk about the 4 ways of how to be a boss in the grocery store. And these are things that I've learned along the way and that have really made a difference in my meal prep and grocery shopping experience. So I hope that I can help someone in some way utilize these different tools that I'm going to go over and make grocery shopping more enjoyable and pleasant for you and feel like you know exactly what you're at the grocery store for. So the first one is come prepared and bring a list. I don't know why I have to emphasize this, but it's something that most of us forget to do. And usually when I see people with a list, it's a woman, but if I see people with a list at the grocery store, this doesn't happen all the time. So just remember, you need to come prepared with a freaking list, or you're going to get to the store and you're going to be like, okay, which way do I go? Because if you're not used to the grocery store and grocery shopping and meal prepping, grocery shopping for meal prep to be exact, then when you get there, it seems very daunting and overwhelming. So the first thing that you do is you want to make a list from the recipes that you want to make. So with Milehigh Meal Prep, you would pick a recipe and you'd look at that recipe And I'm going to use this 𝗘-𝗯𝙀 recipe book just because I don't have Milehigh Meal Prep is an ebook that you can print out if you want to, but it's accessible through your phone digitally, which is good for people who are on the go. Okay, so this is how it would look, you guys. Let's get a recipe I haven't written on. Okay, grilled peach salsa. This is 𝗘-𝗀, another vegan cookbook that I love. So you would go and look at the ingredients on the left-hand side, and you would read, okay, 6 peaches, I need oil, I need 2 serrano peppers, I need a red onion, tomato, limes, and I don't have, and so you're going to look, do you have 6 peaches at home? Do you have oil at home? Do you have a half of a red onion? So look for these things in your house, and then if you don't have them in your pantry or whatever, then you're gonna write it down that you need it. So if you want to go further into preparing a list, this is something that my husband did for us. I'm not as good with lists. He's great with lists because he's a pilot, but I don't know why I'm looking at this way. He would take the grocery list that I'd written out, and then he'd put it into categories of where they are located instead of just having it by recipe, so there could be overlap. He would write produce and then write what we need in the produce section, and he would write, you don't have to do that, but it is something that makes the time more efficient when you're at the grocery store. You're not spending as long there because you have everything that you need, and it tells you which section it's in, and they're the only sections you need to go to. And instead of looking at your list and being like, okay, I have a pepper here, and I have a pepper here, and I have a pepper here, so I need to get 3 peppers. And then right after it says onion, and the onions were next to the peppers. It would be kind of annoying to look at your list all the time, but that's what I do personally. But my husband likes to categorize. So if you're really into categories and saving and time efficiency, saving time, then definitely do the category thing. It helps. So make a list, because when you bring a list, you're prepared and very methodical. And this is another way to save time. But also the thing about the list is if you're online shopping, because you can do this here in Bellingham, I do this, it's called Click List through Fred Meyer. If you have a list, it really helps. Like, I don't know how people do online shopping without a list, but for me, it's really easy just to cross off, check, check, check. So then you don't even have to categorize anything. That's another way to save time and really be prepared with your grocery shopping, is to just do it online. So that's number 1. So if you feel like you're gonna try to be more boss at prep work and prepping that list and bringing a list to the grocery store, then drop the emoji that has the glasses, like you're the cool guy. You're prepared. Okay, number 2. Let's see. It's skirt the perimeter. So when you go to the grocery store, if you are the person that heads straight to the center, you're doing it wrong. Sorry to tell you. I'm sure you know that everything good for you is on the outside of the store. Stay away from the center. That is where all the bad shit is. But no, in all seriousness, you guys, the reason you skirt the perimeter is because for meal prep, if you are cooking nutritious meals, that is where you'll find everything. And then you're not going to be tempted for the shit that's in the middle, because that's where all your processed junk food, frozen, freezer meals are. And those are things that you don't really need. And it helps, especially if you're someone who is kind of in that junk food mode and who does embrace junk food. It gets you away from that whole side of the grocery store. So skirting the perimeter can be very helpful, especially if you're tempted easily. Just stay outside, because that's where all your food that's good for you is, and primarily the produce section. So that's the second tip. So if you're going to try to skirt the perimeter and stay away from the center, where all the junk food is, drop an apple emoji. Number 3 is going to feel like, well, what the hell, Maddie? You just told us to skirt the perimeter. But number 3 is very important. And it's probably my favorite one. But number 3 is to allow yourself an indulgence. What does that mean? When you go grocery shopping, there is not a lot of happy feelings. At least I guess for me, it's not like, oh my god, yes, I get to go grocery shopping. And I feel like a lot of people feel that way. And usually it's women doing the grocery shopping and not necessarily the guys all the time. So the women are definitely just burnt out from grocery shopping. But I say allow yourself an indulgence, because what that means is you're going to put something on your list from the grocery store that you are indulging in. It's like an incentivizing your grocery trip. So what that looks like for me and my husband when we go together is usually like a drink, like beer or something that we'll pick up so we can drink it while we're meal prepping. Or we usually get ice cream. That's like a big one. Pick out little pint-sized ice cream so that later on in the evening we can have ice cream together. Sometimes it's chips and salsa while we're prepping. Something that really makes you excited to meal prep and gives you that incentive to want to meal prep and to get to your grocery store and tick that off the list really will help with you actually being a boss at the grocery store. So that little thing has been huge in my own meal prep journey. Me and my husband always get something that is like a treat to us, just so that when we go, we're not like, oh, here we go again, meal prep. Nothing good coming from it, except obviously the meals, but it's just nice. I used to do this with my friends too, like get a Diet Pepsi. I freaking love Diet Pepsi. Like I would just get the big gulp because I'm like, it's my one day, I get to do it. So when you do incentivize and you allow yourself an indulgence, it is really a game changer for meal prep, and you'll come to like be like, yes, I can't wait to meal prep. I got something special I want to get at the store. Now I'm thinking it's going to be plants for me, since I have this new houseplant hobby and you can get plants at the store, so that's even better. But there are little things like that can just make meal prep so much better for you. So if you're going to allow yourself an indulgence, drop a cookie emoji or a donut emoji or an ice cream emoji or beer emoji, whatever you want to indulge in, and drop that emoji in the comments so I can see if that's something that you are going to implement. Then the last thing is the fourth one, and last but not least, it's kind of like a two-factor one, but it is bring your own bags and shop bargains. So, if possible. So, you guys are probably rolling your eyes about the bring your own bags, but part of my mission in a sustainable fitness lifestyle is everything else is sustainable too. And as someone who lives in Western Washington and I'm from Eastern Washington, I know that this isn't the case for everywhere that you go. So in Bellingham, I think we were the first city to adopt the plastic bag ban. So literally have not been utilizing plastic bags here for shopping at all for 4 or 5 years now. I feel like it's been since I've lived here, honestly. And when we got rid of plastic bags, everyone was really gung-ho about it because we're saving the planet. And these plastic bags are not going to end up in the ocean, freaking tied around a turtle's neck or whatever. Those are just like the horror stories. And from someone who travels frequently and has been to a lot of different beaches and islands, I can tell you that the plastic does go somewhere and usually ends up on a beach or in the ocean. And I've seen the plastic wherever I've gone that's been on an island. There's plastic all over the beaches. So that's why I think it's pertinent that you bring your own bag, and that's how you can be a boss at your meal prep too, is that it's not a big deal to change your ways. You just got to embrace the change. And this is something that is really helpful to the earth too. So bring your own bags when you're shopping. Brown bags are not going to kill you. Here in Bellingham, if you don't have a bag, you'll get a brown bag. But I have just kind of learned that I bring my own bags and it's not a big deal. And get a brown bag, not a big deal either. So that's one part of being a boss at the grocery store, but the other part is just shop the bargains. And some ways to do this without thinking about like, oh, I gotta cut coupons, is you're gonna find stores that are cheaper. So because I live in a big city, I have a few more options than some people do. But we have a few grocery stores that are more high end, and then we have the grocery stores that are lower end. But I've kind of found a happy medium. And the things that I do to lower my grocery store bill is I find a cheaper store. So some of the things that me and my husband get, that are whole foods can be found at the grocery outlet. So we're lucky enough to have a grocery outlet. I don't know if everyone does, but that store gets a lot of good healthy foods in bulk, and then they're usually like slashed at half price. So that's one way that I do things, is that one of the products that I like is 𝗬𝙧𝙤𝙬. It's kind of like kombucha. It's a fermented drink and good for digestion. And that drink's probably almost $4 at the Hagen or the Co-op. Sounds expensive, but it's not any more expensive than coffee. And so we found it at the grocery outlet for half the price. So now I know if I want 𝗬𝙧𝙤𝙬, I'm going to buy it in bulk there because it's way cheaper. So those are just small little things that you can do. The other thing is that if you find a bulk item if you find an item that you like and you can find it in bulk somewhere else for cheaper, do that. And I often do that at Costco. I'll go. My aunt told me I could get my RX bars at Costco, and so I was like, I haven't even seen those. Usually I shop for bulk items, but I just didn't even know that I could buy my bars there. But I'm saving so much more money, at least $1 each on a bar, so that's a big deal. Over time, these things really do add up. And then the last thing that you can do is join a co-op, which me and my husband are part of our local co-op, and it gives you money back incentives. So over the year, or discounts, they do like quarterly or yearly cashback discounts and things like that. We just joined one, I think maybe last year, so we'll be looking for a discount soon, I'm sure. But it just gives you a little extra. Groceries are not fun to spend all your money on, and there are little ways that you can save, and it doesn't always necessarily have to be you like coupon cutting. So those are the 3 ways that I kind of save money in my own little ways, because I'm not really a coupon cutter or anything like that. But buying in bulk and finding the ways to buy in bulk for cheaper is a great way to save money too on groceries. So if you're gonna try to be a boss and save more money on groceries by shopping bargains, and you're gonna start bringing your own bags, drop the money emoji. And those are the 4 ways to be a boss at grocery shopping. So I'm going to just go over them one more time. So come prepared, bring a list was number 1. Skirt the perimeter was number 2. Number 3 is allow yourself an indulgence. And number 4 is bring your own bags and shop bargains. So thank you guys for joining in today for day 2 of my Milehigh Meal Prep ebook launch. You can go and get my ebook up in the link in my bio through my website. And you remember, you guys, that it's going to cover both education and nutrition, and it has the recipes as well. And you'll be able to be part of Milehigh Meal Prep ebook group. It's just called Milehigh Meal Prep on Facebook when you do become a member. And the other thing, I don't think I have anything else. Oh yes, when you share this, you'll get entered in to win a free Milehigh Meal Prep ebook. And also you have to be part of the Milehigh Meal Prep group. So go ahead and add yourself in too. And say hey if you were here. And I'll be back tomorrow for our Wednesday live at noon, and we'll be meal prepping tomorrow. So thanks for joining in, you guys. Have a great Tuesday, and I'll see you tomorrow.